So if you've played with the new track or you've seen some of the other stuff that we've been doing lately, we're really emphasizing creativity. We love for students to get creative, to get messy, to create some new stuff. So I'd like to suggest an alternative interaction for your group. When I was a youth pastor a long time ago, I had students come in to one night a month, we would paint. Now that sounds like, oh man, this is gonna be like either really kiddie or kind of like a lot of work. It actually wasn't as much work as you think. The truth is, we would introduce the topic for the night. So if we were talking about love or sin or whatever it was that we were discussing, we would introduce the topic, I would read a passage of scripture, and then I would simply tell them, listen, I want you to paint a picture about that, whatever that feels or means to you. And sometimes they'd be really specific to the passage of scripture or a story. Sometimes they'd be really abstract. But we would take the time to allow them about 20, 30 minutes to just paint. And when they painted and they finished, we would bring them up and have them debrief their painting. So they'd say, this is what I saw and this is what I heard. And it could be really quick. I know you've got introverted kids who sometimes don't like to talk to a group. But truthfully, most of them were kind of like, here's what I was thinking and here's what I was seeing. The painting itself allows you to begin to see the way that your students view the world, the things that come to mind when you're talking. It gives you an insight into what they're doing, but it also gives them the opportunity to share with one another the things that they're seeing. Now, you're saying, well, this sounds like a lot of work, Jeremy. It's actually not really as hard as you think it is. You do need some 8x10 tables, but here's my suggestion. You basically take 6 8x10 tables and line them up, basically 2 columns, 3 rows. Then you take 4 more 8x10 tables and flip them up. So the 2 in the middle will basically be supporting the legs. And in the process, you'll have made an easel in front of each student because there is a flat table to put the art on and then a tall table to put the pieces of paper on. Just literally take masking tape or something like that, tape the corners of the painting up there and paint on them. Some of you are saying, well, what if they paint on the table? Well, first thing is make sure you wipe it off as soon as they're done, or you can get one of those plastic tablecloths and tape that up and just use that instead. Either way, this is a pretty simple way for you to engage your students. If you feel like, you know what, I don't even have the paints to do this, you can go to pretty much any major department store or just thrift store and get some kind of little paint supplies. They're usually really cheap. Some of them, sometimes you can even ask students to bring them. My kids have them left over from school so they could bring some stuff in, but let them paint. They don't often get this opportunity, and sometimes it feels like, well, I don't know if everybody's gonna love it. Trust me, just take a chance and allow them to be creative and express for you what you're teaching that night, because you'll find out that it's a fantastic setup for you to then continue in your message and talk about what God's laid on your heart from His Word.